All right, guys, in today's episode, we are going to be sitting down with head journalist of the Grass League, Todd Dobson, to explain to us more about the Troon Access Grass League Championships coming up early December, where it's high stakes, par 3 light up golf. Stay tuned.
Money, perfect.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode. I'm here with my boy, Todd Dobson. Todd is a special journalist for the Grass League, and I figured why not have him come on, educate us about what the Grass League is, how it got started, where is it at, and where is it going. I've been trying to tell you guys a little bit about it. I'm very excited about the future of golf because I think this just might be it. Todd, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. And if you could give us a little education on what is Grass League, how did we get here, and how are you a part of it?
Well, thanks for having me aboard this show. I'm a huge fan of Foreward golf. I think what you're doing is growing the game. It's really changed my game. It really has.
Appreciate that.
But before you get to Grass League, you got to start at Grass Clippings. We're at the original shop right here. Group of guys that were living together out of college, wanted to be in golf. And as you probably know, getting into golf is really difficult.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's like, I want to find a job in golf. Like, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to go do this. There aren't many avenues to go be successful doing something. So we thought long and hard. The first thing that came to mind was when you watch pro golfers stand on the first tee, they're always wearing like a TaylorMade hat or a Nike hat or something. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, everything that's going on in your life and you're wearing TaylorMade. You know what I mean? It's like you're putting everything out there and you're going to put a club manufacturer on your head.
Right.
Granted, they may be paying you, but for the most part, most aren't being paid, but they still wear those hats. So we thought, we're like, what if we just created a brand that had a little bit of grit behind it? You know, it meant something. You know, you get on that first tee, you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for your whole family. You're playing for everyone that stands behind you. One of the founders, Jimmy Hazelton, was a great amateur golfer, became pro. And his story is part of the reason we're here with Grass League is you see what these pro golfers go through and the struggle they go through. So to start with, we started a clothing brand that was to give dedication to the greenskeepers.
Such a cool perspective.
And no one ever cares about the greenskeepers. They actually don't like them at the end of the day. You know, it's like, who cut these greens? Who cut this grass? It's like, if they don't show up to work, no one's playing golf today.
It's true.
So we started there and we always found ourselves wanting to go hang out with the greenskeepers. We were like, those guys are the salt of the earth. Why are they cast out into the distance, hidden from the patrons, as you'd say at the Masters? And so we started that, and then simultaneously we'd been playing in an amateur golf tournament in Minnesota called the Resorters. And it felt like Texas high school football, if you will,
right, where
the whole town shuts down. You got the radio station out there. And there was something you can't describe, you can't emulate. It's just something different.
It's the atmosphere, right? The atmosphere that's created.
Yeah, and people cared about it. Thus the tournament was that much more, grand, if you will. And so we came home and from that, and we started this clothing brand to give recognition to the greenskeepers. But at the same time, we wanted to start a tournament. So we started a tournament on a par 3 course, 2-man scramble. And if you really break that down, psychologically, anybody should be able to think that they can win that tournament.
Absolutely. It brings a huge audience into it.
I mean, put yourself out there. You got a great swing. I've seen it. You play some of the top, pro golfers, amateur golfers on a traditional golf course.
Oh, you've got no chance.
You're getting pounded.
Right.
But if put a wedge in your hand, I'd put my money on you.
We have a chance. I mean, you're going to get it on the green. You have a chance to make a couple putts. It can get exciting. It's definitely a breeding ground for excitement.
And if you look at, the history of golf, where do all of the best shots happen? They happen between 175 yards and in.
You got to stick it.
Yeah.
Get the crowd going.
You have to. And if I were to ask you, what are the 10 best, greatest shots in golf history, other than John Van de Velde at the British Open?
Yeah.
What other shot includes a driver in hand?
No, they're all approach shots.
They're all approach shots. Or
the winning putt or chipping it in. Exactly.
So let's just start there. So we did this tournament at a par 3 course here in town. Did a 2-man scramble, and the reception from it was what we were hoping, what our thesis was.
Similar to that of where you were inspired? Where would you say it was?
Minnesota,
Yeah.
the Resorters. Yeah, it was the same type of deal.
Similar.
And you had that feeling, it's like anybody feels like they can win it. When I go up there, I get pounded. Like I'm not as good as these other guys, but when I show up, my dad's sitting there, massaging my shoulders like, you got this, you got this, Todd, let's go, let's go. And I don't get that opportunity very often.
Right.
Like if you think about the AGA events, USGA events, all those types of events, I stand no chance. So everyone loves golf and they want that chance on a golf stage. And so we thought to ourselves, how do we bring everyone to that stage? 2-man scramble on a par 3 course pretty much accomplishes that.
Oh, everyone who can play somewhat wants to team up with a buddy and say, let's go get it.
Let's go get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's team golf. I can't tell you how many guys that played college golf that go to play pro and they're like, I miss high school golf. I miss college golf. I miss that camaraderie with teams.
Absolutely.
So long story short, after the second year playing this tournament at this golf course at Mountain Shadows, we were like, if we want to do what we set out to do, which was to have grandstands, television, and lights.
You guys had a huge vision for it.
Yeah, and it was pretty ambitious at the beginning, but it said if we just stick at it, something will come of this. Your prior guest was the best, George Genka.
Yeah, absolutely.
He looked at us and said, you won't do it. And I remember that because he was right. Most people don't do what they say they're going to do. And that was motivation for us. So credit to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
We went and started looking for golf courses in Arizona, and we were prepared to go to another state.
Okay.
Building a par 3 lighted golf course is maybe the most difficult thing to do in a city if you want to find the right property. Because it has to be around, a populated area.
Or it won't work.
It won't work. The finances won't work. And to buy property in the middle of a city,
good luck.
Good luck.
And then to be able to put the lights up, there's a lot of hoops that you got to get through just to be able to get the permitting to do this.
Yeah. And so we truly found a diamond in the rough. It was this municipal golf course in Tempe that just hadn't gotten the love that we thought deserved, judged by its location. It's next to the zoo, next to Papago Golf Course where ASU plays. And most people don't even know it exists. So we approached the city and said, we'd love to take over on a lease deal and give you guys some revenue and put some life into the property, put a lot of money in the property. So we took that over with the idea to bring the tournament there, bring energy there, bring the grass clippings brand there. The first thing we did was, back to our roots, we hired a greenskeeper from TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Scott Hebert.
Yeah.
And so we got the golf course, put the lights up, and simultaneously we started the Grass League. And the Grass League is a long conversation about what we set out to do. But as you know, you have a lot of golfers that come through your guys' facility that are trying to play pro golf.
A lot of them. Yep.
And you want to talk about a tough thing to do, playing pro golf. People don't get how tough it is.
You really got to weigh your options when you're starting to think about that, because if you don't got the funding, if you don't got the determination, if you're not putting in the work, and even if you do, there's still really no guarantees. So where I see this, and I think this is where this conversation is going, is like, this is almost an outlet for that.
Yes.
This is like an outlet to where, dude, because that's the thing. The reason why a lot of these guys hold on is they want to compete. There's something in them that's like, if I give up on my dream, I'm not going to have that feel of being competitive and trying to get in that moment. And, when me and Dan played in your guys' tournament, we didn't play great, but like, dude, when the lights are on and the gallery's all around you and you're sitting on that 15-foot putt, not even in contention. I mean, when am I ever going to experience that? It was sick.
And so that was part of our thesis too, was like, when the lights come on, the stage gets bigger. I mean, you can't argue
the greens
that.
get smaller.
The greens get small. We had Steph Curry come out randomly. I got a call. All the founders, we got a call from guys at the course, and they're like, "Hey, you got to come down and meet Steph Curry." We're like, "Steph Curry's playing?" He had called in under a fake name. Johnny Drama's playing. Walks into the pro shop, pays for his round, and goes out there. And the guy working, Mike Uribe, one of the goats that works at our golf course, biggest Golden State Warriors fan in the world. He's like, was that Steph Curry? And just beside himself. We went out and talked to him, just introduced him, said, "Hey, thanks for coming out. Like, this is unbelievable." And he was like, I didn't realize what the lights do to this. And the conversation led to, like when he runs out on a basketball court, like the lights are on, the fans are there. Like that's what amps you up. But so many times in golf, be it high school, college golf, there isn't that stage. Like you go to a college golf tournament and you'd be lucky to see the parents there.
Correct.
It's a ghost town.
Yep.
And what are they playing for? It's like something was amiss.
It's lackluster to say the least.
Yes, something's amiss. It just doesn't make sense. If you compare football and golf, you look at the Super Bowl and the Masters. Granted, NFL's a little bit bigger. We'll give them that. But at the same time, they're pretty relatively the same, like in terms of like captivating an audience.
I would agree.
You go down the ranks to college golf, college football. College football is just as impactful as the NFL, yet college golf is like, you couldn't.
Non-existent, literally non-existent. Besides the final stages of like whatever the national championships.
But even there, it's like, tell me the top 15 players in the world. Or 15 college players. You might know it because
no, I wouldn't know that.
I wouldn't have any idea. And so we're sitting there, and then you hear all these stories of guys that go play on the Canadian tour to try to get to the PGA Tour. Some make it, some don't. The guys that don't make it, they give up and they're 26, 27. And now they got to go find a real job.
That's the story.
But there's guys out there like a Boo Weekly or someone or like that, hadn't found their form until they're later in life. They're in their late 30s or something. Something clicks and everyone is galvanized by that. What if we were able to keep those guys in the game? Let's find a creative way to keep those guys financially stable to be able to continue to chase their dream.
What a great perspective.
In no way do we think the grass league is going to compete with the PGA Tour. No one can compete with the PGA Tour. And what the Live Tour is doing, hell, good for them. If they want to bring golf around the world, I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to find golfers that are amateurs, that have normal jobs, or are professionals trying to pursue their dream and give them an outlet, give them a stage to be seen to where brands like yourself, brands that want to be in golf. It seems like every brand wants to be in golf. They don't have a genuine way to be in the game. What if you started doing brand deals with players that are playing in this par 3 golf league, lighted golf league? And so again, in our world, if these guys came to our league and played and they go, hey, I'm going to play on the PGA Tour. I can't play in your events anymore. We'd sit there and go get them.
Right on. That was mission accomplished.
That was the purpose this whole time. So we're trying to be from the fan perspective, we just want it to be fun. Come out.
And it has to be. And I think golf can be a lot more fun than it is from an entertainment perspective.
Yes.
Figuring out a way to make golf more entertaining is desperately needed.
Yes. And so, I mean, there's been glimpses of that, and we've only had one event. And again,
it was sick.
Again, back to the whole thing, people are like, well, what's the future for this? You got to realize that there's only 19 lighted golf courses in America. In South Korea, there's 117, and they can't get a tee time there. It's like packed. You can read all the articles about that. So we're starting this league with a real estate palette that doesn't exist. And so the future is pretty much, the world is your oyster, whatever term I'm trying to come up with right now. But
it's something brand new that's never been done like this.
It's something brand new, and we've put our heart and soul into this thing, and we truly have a genuine reason behind it. Mm-hmm. For instance, you fit Nick Mason today.
Yeah.
He's won 26 state opens. I thought it was 27, 26. That's really tough to do.
Dude, the guy, I mean, all of the guys that we fit today on Team Phoenix United were impressive. I mean, his ball striking, what was it? Tyler?
Quick.
Yep. Dude, I mean, those guys shouldn't be thrown in the towel, or they should be able to continue their journey. I mean, we do get older. I mean, the Champions Tour is still another outlet, dude. I mean, your guys aren't discriminating in age in this. If you can play, you can play.
Yeah.
And that's the whole other thing is keeping these guys competitive, like you said, keeping them, if they're winning, getting paid to where they can keep going in this journey and not get so bogged down. I mean, there's so many guys that they wait too long. They never make it. And then, like you said, you're at this really interesting stage where you're in your mid 30s and you're like, whoa, you're going to go teach. You're probably going to go teach golf. Or I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I think you should stay in it. I don't think you should get out of it. It's why we do it. It's what we love. So that's an interesting perspective. I didn't really know you guys were coming at it from, but it's really dope.
Well, it all goes back to Jimmy Hazelton, one of our founders, playing professional golf and seeing what he went through. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, after 6 months into his pro career, I'm like, dude, what's going on in your head? Like, I can't imagine what's going on in your head. Like, let alone, and we're in a, the guys that we found in this company, we're carrying his bag. We're like, we got you. It is so tough. Not to say the other sports aren't tough,
right?
But this sport is particularly lonely.
Yes.
It's you and yourself,
Yep.
and you're out on this mission, and financially, you go play in a Canadian event and you win it. Like, here's the check for 10 grand. I was like, well, my flight cost me $3. I got to give 10% to my caddy, my room, my board, this, that, and the other. It starts adding up. You've lost money and you won the tournament.
Dude, there is a lot of deep conversations that you're having with yourself in that hotel room after another missed cut.
Oh.
And it's like you didn't even play bad.
Yeah.
You only missed by a little bit, but no one cares. You got to go home. And I've never got to experience what it's like sitting in a hotel after your 5th missed cut or whatever that must be like, but there are tons of those guys. And, my heart goes out to them that, they just put their nose down and keep trying, but it's tough. Like you said, there's some guys that break through late, and that's why guys hang on to it for so long, because you can break through late. It's the hardest game in the world, in my opinion, and what it's asking out of each and every player is so demanding that it makes sense that very, very few people get through. And there is a little bit of luck involved. I mean, all those guys are so good that a little lucky break here at that right time, it's just like, dude, this was my time to get through. And then there's the guy on the other side who just got the worst break he's ever had on the 18th hole. And what are you going to do about it? It is a cruel game. It's very much like nature. It doesn't really care, right?
Yeah.
The chips fall how they fall, and you got to take it on the chin or, get through and have success.
But those stories you're describing, most people never see it.
I know.
We always see is Rory McIlroy. Oh, Rory hit. If Rory comes to play in the grass league, I mean, granted, my partners may not say the same thing. We failed. We're not looking for Rory McIlroy to come play. We're looking for the stories you just talked about.
Yeah.
We're looking for the journeymen that need a shot, need that extra platform to amplify their story. Like a Nick Mason, what I'm talking about. He wins 26 state opens. He's played in the US Open. He's played here, there, the other place. He's won the wrong tournaments. The putts didn't fall in the right ones. I've seen him in the Puerto Rico tournament, the Monday end, and he lipped out in a 6-guy playoff to get into the tournament. That's golf. But the beauty of golf is people want to relate to those stories. They want to watch those guys.
I do.
But the main stage of golf is focused on the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. As a golf fan of myself, I want to hear the crazy stories. I want to hear the stories of, the Jason Gores of the world, the Tommy Two Gloves. Like, I want to hear some grit out there. That's why we got into this in the first place. We got in this business to give recognition to the greenskeepers. I want to hear the real golf stories, the
grinders,
gritty grinder golf stories. Yeah. And imagine a league that you just described about players hanging on, still believing. Imagine a league that is built for that. That is built for.
I mean, I'm watching. That's for sure. That I love all that.
And think about all the alternative leagues that are going on right now. And I don't want to cast shade on certain things, but again, it's all driven towards the 1% of the 1%. Maybe in a world, just maybe, people are thinking about, I want to watch the other 99%, and I want to hear somebody tell me that story. Tell me a story. I have kids at home. I tell them stories to go to bed, and it puts them to sleep.
Well, what it kind of reminds me of when you're explaining this is my dad. I grew up watching my dad play like high competitive, like slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
And if you've never played slow pitch softball before, you can't really appreciate how great of a game that is. It's high intensity baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can hit a home run. I mean, everyone's getting hits. There's bang bang plays. Every time a guy hits up the middle, you're supposed to take 2 bags, and you're sliding play at home. And it really, if you take time to watch it, and it's these AAA guys who never made it, a bunch of great, amazing baseball players. You'll see the best double plays ever turned because the bags are so short, it's got to be quicker.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the same thing, because if you watch slow pitch softball, and everyone's not hitting a home run every time, it is the most exciting thing that you can watch.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a very similar parallel where it's like, yeah, we're going to go to short courses. We're going to have guys hitting balls close to the hole. A lot more birdies are going to be made, but you've got these guys who've just put in everything into this game, and like give them a stage to showcase their skills. Well,
at the same time, from the fan perspective, we're going to put concerts. We're going to do, grandstands.
That's what I was impressed with.
There's a symmetry between the two. the fans are coming out and being like, this is a blast. Like, how did I not know about this? Like, I want to come out and hang out and drink beers and watch great golf on top of the action. And then it just simultaneously, you have guys like a Drew Kittleson who won the last tournament. Drew Kittleson played at Florida State with Brooks Koepka, Daniel Berger. He got second at the USAM to Danny Lee, played in the US Open, played in the Masters, and a year and a half into his pro career was like, you know what? I'm going to go do something else. In my opinion, from the golf perspective, what are we doing? That is a guy we need to keep around. If I'm the commissioner of the PGA Tour, I'm like, okay, hey Drew, what are you doing? Like, what's that job offering you? Like, come play with us. Let's give you an avenue to go succeed. There isn't those conversations. There's guys in the NBA making $50 million that have no business playing in the NBA because that's just how they've been set up. And golf is this weird sport, very singular, and I don't know. It's just very weird. So we see this opportunity where we have the ability to bring guys in like a Drew Kittleson, like a Nick Mason, like a Parker McLaughlin, like at all stages of life, and say, come play on this par 3 course. Sarah Schmelzel just committed to play in our tournament. It's a girl that just played in the Solheim Cup. If I'm a betting man and I have all of these people stacked up, I'm like, on a par 3 course, I'm like, I'm going to go with Sarah. That's so unique.
That is very unique. Even playing field.
And so the stories you can tell behind all of these players, I mean, that's what golf is. Like when I was a kid growing up watching the US Open, dun, 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 you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's like, hey, and Jason Gore is now, right, he's in second place behind Tiger Woods. I'm like, dude, I wish I had a Jason Gore shirt on. Right. Like, I love Jason Gore now. I never knew about him until today, but I love him. That golf has that effect. And if we have the ability to bring those people to a stage under the lights, grandstands, and I didn't touch upon it, but golf has never been able to be broadcasted in prime time. It's always Sunday morning.
Correct.
And then, then we're going to watch The Simpsons, or we're going to watch NFL football or something like that. What if it was the primetime thing? What if we could play under the lights and be the primetime moment? Maybe. I'm not a businessman per se, but that seems like a pretty,
yeah. Well, I love
obvious
lofty goals. I mean, aiming high is not something to look down upon for sure. I mean, you're never going to achieve any. I mean, look what you guys have already done so far. I mean, literally starting from scratch, you've built it to this. It's like almost like, why stop now? That would be amazing. And I really think that from what I saw when I was there, you talk about the crowds and having the concert and the stage. Dude, I was blown away. I mean, how many thousands of people did you guys have there? I
think we had like 3,500 to 4,000 people
on that small property. Right. I mean, right around the stage. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that. And but I haven't been to the waste management. So maybe that's why I'm out of perspective there.
The waste management has like, what's not.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's
like
crazy.
300,000 people. Yeah. So we're not trying to say we're a waste management, but when you have a small par 3 course,
dude, it
takes 200 people to make it feel like it's packed. That's the beautiful part.
There was plenty of people coming to see the concert that had nothing really to do with golf, but they were watching, they were cheering, they were. And then like the golf carts coming down with the glow lights and stuff, just the whole vibe. I mean, the shorts, I thought it was cool. A lot of people wearing t-shirts. It just has a more of a relaxed feel that I like to feel in the game.
Yeah.
And I think what you guys are bringing to the table is second to none. So explain to me a little bit about like how many teams are there currently?
So there's, when you played in the tournament, there was 10. We've just sold a team, the San Diego market. So we have 11. And we're going to expand that to a certain number, probably in the 20s over time.
Right.
And yeah, we've structured it much like a professional baseball league or professional basketball league where they're operated the same way. And the cool thing is, one of my favorite quotes from any movies or any sports movies is Herb Brooks from Miracle saying, I'm not looking for the best ones. I'm looking for the right ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have these people that own a team and you might be the better golfer on paper. Chad Dietz is this, but there's this guy over here that I believe in. Right. I'm going to field him in my tournament because I believe he can win the tournament for me. And there's something special about that. And golf doesn't have that right now, if you think about it, other than college golf but again, no one watches college golf because it's not out there.
It's not out there.
Not to say nobody would watch it, just it hasn't happened. But But there's something special about that. You know, the way we tried to structure this is you're taking influential people that love the game, that want to grow the game, and are looking for people, you know, like we've talked about, these guys that are struggling to financially stay in the game, and say, you know, I'm going to give you a shot. I think you're the guy. That guy goes out, wins, or something happens between them. It catapults his career into the next stage. That's really the goal here. It's like maybe the way golf has been organized and structured from the beginning is one way to do it, and we're going to do it a little bit different. But it's all growing the game. As I love people to say, grow the game.
And that's I feel like that's what you guys are essentially doing. So upcoming December 5th and 6th, we've got the Pro Scratch.
It's no longer called that, so we're gonna have to cut that out. But it's the GL Championship.
The GL Championship.
Yep.
Come December 5th and 6th, we got the GL Championship.
Yep.
Give me a little bit more insight on that. That's the same format, 2-man scramble.
2-man scramble. That's what we're all gonna ride with all the time. But
great.
To your point, the Pro Scratch. What's the difference between Pro and Scratch?
Nothing.
I don't know.
I mean, one gets paid and one says he doesn't, but might take it under the table when no one's looking. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know the difference.
Literally, I don't know what the difference is. You know what I mean? So
it's build a team and come.
It's just if you can come, we'd love to have you. It's from that perspective. If you're the owner and you're like, I want this guy to play,
right?
Make sure he can play. Who is he owned by? You know what I mean? Like, you've never really thought about that from that perspective. Right. You're a grown man, Chad Dietz. Can you come play in my tournament? And you're like, no, I can't play. It's like, well, why not? No one's ever thought about it from that perspective. Right. And that's a larger conversation that I don't think we want to get in today. But that's our perspective is what we're doing down here. Most people laughed at us about, lighted par 3 golf. If you can make it, we'd love to have you. That's all it is. And so there's going to be an array of different players. It's going to be a 2-man event or a two-man scramble, person scramble. Each franchise is going to have 4 teams comprised of 2 people. There's 11 teams now, so 44, 88 players. And it's going to be 2 nights, Thursday, Friday night, December 5th and 6th. There's going to be live music under the lights.
People can buy tickets to come to this.
People can buy tickets.
Where do we buy the tickets?
Online at grassleague.com.
Grassleague.com, guys. If you guys want to come, I'll be there. We're going to have the Tiger Strike cart there. Our whole team will be there. I want all you guys to come.
You want to know the best part is it's $20 for a 2-day ticket. And if you buy it before November 15th, it puts you in a lottery. And we're going to draw 5 names out of the lottery on Friday, the last day. They're going to get a shot on 18. You know,
we did that shot. Yeah.
No, so we have 1 and 18 going off. So it's going to be based on tee times on Friday. People are going to be teeing off 1. As they tee off 1, these guys are going to step up, hit up on 18 in front of the crowd for $1 million. If they hit a hole in one, they win $1 million. $1
million shot.
And all you got to do is buy a $20 ticket and come out. So,
oh my God,
we're just trying to have fun. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
fans are going to hit the shot.
Exactly.
Oh, dude,
why not? Like, there's no
come
rules.
Out to Grass League, win $1 million, drive home, do your thing. That's dope. That's really cool.
So there's going to be a bunch of people hitting for $1 million on Friday. Sorry, but yeah, it's something different going on here.
Well, I love what you guys are doing. And again, today we got to fit Team Phoenix United. So if we're going to be biased here, all you guys should get on the Phoenix United train. I mean, it is what it is. Foreward Golf is the official sponsor for Phoenix United. So I think I would gravitated towards the team when I was there. The all black with the white logo, the caddy bibs and everything. I'm like, dude, that team's hard. So I'm stoked that we can be involved with helping them. Again, one of the things that I've thought of from my perspective is 13 club iron sets. Now, I don't know how quickly we'll be able to implement that, but if we're only playing par 3 golf, if we're only 190 yards and in, we don't have a driver, we don't have a 3, we don't got all these other clubs. So why not just stack up these irons, maybe in like 2.5-degree increments, 6-yard gappings? I mean, you could have full shots to every pin and never have to choke down or do anything crazy. So
that's part of it. We like to think of it as like, this is a new sport.
It is a new sport.
It is. We're not trying to be the PGA Tour. We want to help the PGA Tour. Believe me, I grew up watching the PGA Tour. I love nothing more than that. This is just it's like, I hate to make this comparison.
It just needs to coexist with it. I mean,
yeah.
It's just, it's the same thing, but it's different. And I think it's all generated towards the same audience, but yeah, there's no reason why the two couldn't coexist and just
it's tennis to pickleball. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Andre Agassi, I think, plays on a pickleball team. It's like, no one cares about that. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think it's cool.
it's great. It's great to just, I mean, life is hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, it's hard enough. Like, I don't know. Let's just have some fun. That's all it's all.
I agree. I totally agree. Well, guys, that's going to sum it up for about today. Todd, thank you so much for coming on today's episode. Guys, I really hope that you get a chance to get a pre-sale ticket, come out to Grass League. It's not that far of a drive from California or wherever you're coming from. And I can't wait to see you in December. You still like your clubs are feeling good, right? I was watching him today. They look pretty good.
Your golf clubs have changed my life. That's my wife. All right.
You just put the bigger grips on them, right? We went to the Jumbo Max, the XL.
Yes. I am your ultimate like experiment, and everything's worked. Chicks dig the big grips. I'll tell you that much.
Chicks dig the big grips. All right, guys. Until next time, we're out of here. Todd, you're the man. Peace.
Money, perfect.